Hello ladies and gentlemen, I am PANCZASU and welcome back to my Roving Clans playthrough / tutorial. And in advance I need to apologize if you hear any background noise, simply because today is extremely hot and as such my PC has to cool in a rather extreme fashion, so you might be listening this just slightly. So for that I apologize, but hey, I do want to record and I can't unfortunately cool down the temperature of it too much right now. So, first things first. Right now I'm in a sort of a predicament because my hero is in the middle of nowhere. I'm trying to head into those ruins to actually gain some blood crystal, which I do certainly want. But on the other hand, those unspoiled ruins, they call for me. So let's have a quick look at the last 4 loot quests. So let's pin it, because I don't care about my main faction quest. I know what it says and I know it's not timed. Well, last 4 loot is timed, so I'm gonna pin it. And how much time do I have? 15 turns? That's a lie, unfortunately. I think I know what is now happening with this bug and exactly what it is. This quest is not actually bugged. It is still on a timer and the timer has not been reset or anything. However, the display has been reset and it claims that you have 15 turns left, when in fact you have less than that. So this is a little bit of a problem, because if I knew how much time I have left, I would know if I can go back for just a quick second to go into those unspoiled ruins rather, and discover them. But because I had to reload the game because it's a different day now, obviously I cannot do that because I don't know how much time I have. So I'll just try and make my way towards those ruins. It does look like there will be a passageway this way. I don't think there will be any mountains in the way or anything, so let's try and take my way like so. It might be looking like my unit made a very strange circle around those forests, but forests do take a long time to travel through, so it was only for the best. And I think I discovered the Broken Lords. Okay, I'm fine with discovering Broken Lords, I absolutely am. So let's continue discovering around here. And for the most part, we should actually be getting close to being done with the explore part of the 4X, like I said in the post below the last videocast. Which means that now, oh, crying out loud, really? Why do you keep giving me swords and shields and whatnot? I want to have resources, not those useless stuff, but whatever. This is actually kind of very annoying, because not only do I gain nothing useful from this quest, but additionally, to make it worse, I have to fight some armies that I would rather not fight, because those armies, if I'm not mistaken, will actually spawn in my home region, Ravit. Oh no, they will actually spawn in the Voltas region, but knowing my luck, they will venture to my home region soon enough. Which is really bad, because in my home region, of course, I'm working on a settler, and I would rather have him not be disturbed by anything. Of course, I will give him some escort, probably with a hero at the very least, but still I'd rather not have him fight anything whatsoever, because settlers are extremely vulnerable. For the most part, almost every unit can one-shot them out of the neutral units. Now, you may be wondering, why do I have everybody on industry production, even though, as you can see, I would finish mill foundry in 1 turn anyway? Well, the answer is right here. Industry production actually does carry over to the next building, which might be, you know, kind of obvious, but I just thought I might, you know, point this out. Having a look at the technologies, nothing much has changed. We do have access to high towers, which is nice. Extra source of science is always welcome. However, I'll first work on making a public library in my cities and only then creating high towers. Because, yeah, 5 science is nice, but it's not that big of a deal. It takes a lot of time to create as well. And while vision is valuable, don't get me wrong, it's not really all that necessary, especially not in the early game. Of course, I'll still try to rush the structures purely to complete my faction quest, but it can wait. I want to have public libraries first, because they are just way more useful. Alrighty then, how do I want to get there? Let's try to venture through the forest, maybe? Alright, a Rambler attacking a Dervish with no hero. Dervish... I think if I were to manual this, I would probably still lose. How much initiative do I have? I have 3, this guy has what? 5. Yeah, he would lock me down, I wouldn't be able to kite him, he would win. So just gonna auto this and die, because that's what would happen anyway. And with my hero I'll continue walking forward. Now the advantage to me dying right there is actually fairly nice, because I no longer have to pay for my unit. Which is a rather cruel way of looking at things, but hey, I'll take it anyway. Now, let's wait for a little while. Hero leveled up, that's very nice. I'll gladly give him a keep doing this with Broken Law's heroes. I mean, Wild Walker's heroes, not Broken Law's. But it's a him. We talked about this last time, didn't we? So I'll give him extra protection from forests. We do not have a lot of forests where we are at. I mean, when you can see over here, there are some forests, and that's nice. They are already giving me increased protection, but it's not going to be a big deal. Still, though, it's going to be nice because, again, I may not care about industry, but the reason why I don't care about industry is partially because of the fact that I know I'll have a Wild Walker's hero early, and as you can see, he's doing work for me already. Unfortunately, there are also Silics right outside my city, which means that if I want to settle somewhere, I'll have to fight them because they will not let my settler just go past them, which is very annoying. Oh well, we can deal with that in a moment. First things though, I do want to grab my Blood Crystal. Come on, grab it. There we go. Break Wall and Blood Crystal. Obviously, Break Wall nobody cares about because it's an expensive and very useless item, as are all those items that you discover in the ruins. I don't remember I'll ever really like them. Maybe some rare occasions, but I was never like, oh yeah, I'm glad I got this. Instead, I was always like, oh, why again? Because you will not need those items in early game, you really will not, and that's the only time when they are actually any good. Afterwards, you really quickly gain something much better, so those items are really kinda pointless in my eyes. Especially since they take a lot of surgical resources to set up. Alright, what do you want to give to my hero? No idle hands. Just to let my army level up a little bit faster. Again, this hero is worthless, and I will sell him at some point. I'll not sell him just yet though, because hey, well, what's the point? He is actually working for me right now. Alright, let's continue scouting around the desert. This will most certainly be the location where the Broken Lords will try to expand to. Fine, I'll leave them to it. I'll not try to steal this land from them because I'll provoke war, which is not something I'm ready for just yet. In fact, I'm never ready for war. If you remember, I want to be at peace at all times and backstab the F out of everybody I'm allied with, which is a really nice and nasty way of doing things, but again, this just suits me so well. Settler will be then in 110, and I completely forgot I gained this one new productive worker as Milfounder finished, which is a problem because this worker could have been working on science and something. But it's now a bit late, so I'll just instead put him on dust most likely because I will need this dust to buy things out of the marketplace. Speaking of which, let's have a quick look at the prices. So we're getting a decent amount of strategic resources deposits, however they are usually not worth a lot, and particularly with titanium and glass steel there may be a lot of them, but they sell for really not a lot, so I'm not a big fan of stockpiling on those things. Luxuries on the other hand, well, things are going a little bit better over here, but there is still a very small supply of them. It's okay, we are only 18 turns into the game, we can wait a bit longer. But what I could do is just go ahead and try and sell my blood crystals. Now, attack on units is however fairly good, and I may want to keep it. Obviously I want to keep the spices until I'm about to settle, and wine might actually be still kind of useful. So let's have a quick look. Is there blood crystal on the marketplace? Oh yes, there's two of it in fact. So when it comes to it, if I have to sell something and having to choose between those three resources, I'll definitely not sell the spices because of the reasons I explained earlier. And I will not sell the wine purely because wine, as it stands right now, as you can see, has a lower demand than the blood crystal. It is cheaper, so by selling 15 units of wine, sure, I will gain more than I would gain from selling 10 units of blood crystal. However, by selling blood crystal, I'll gain a better value. More than that, blood crystal is actually impossible to gather in any way until somebody reaches era 3, unless you of course find blood crystal in ruins like I did, which means that its price is going to go higher and higher and higher because the only way to gain blood crystal early on for any players will be to buy it via marketplace, which is not entirely useful when fighting against AIs that pretty much never ever use the marketplace, but against human opponents this might be a good idea. Then again, you have to remember, if somebody tries to buy a blood crystal, yeah, they're planning something nasty, so be on the lookout for that as well. Still, I believe that letting them buy blood crystal from you is not a very bad idea when you're playing as the Roving Clans, because, hey, you can do a bunch of things. And again, it's possible you can ban this resource if necessary, but I don't quite know how the ban mechanic works just yet, as I mentioned last time. Alright, let's keep exploring. I do think that this will be the end of the peninsula right here and that there will be nothing else to explore, but I do want to see if there are any ruins involved. No, there are not. It was a waste of time. There are Arekis nearby. Arekis, you know, a very nice faction to assimilate as always, but right now we care about Silex more. We do not still have the ability to gain quests from them, so we have to wait a bit longer before we can do just that. Seller is ready, however. And of course, the guy, as soon as he realized that the seller is ready, he is standing right in front of my city, like a true bastard he is. Alright then, so how do we want to do this in all actuality? Well, it's a fairly good question, because our hero is right there. Obviously, I'll reassign him and as such teleport him to where the action is, and come on, really? I do not necessarily want to fight those guys, because they could hit my hero, and I need my hero on full health. And they'll kill my dervish, unfortunately. But maybe not. I'll show you a trick I learned not too long ago, in fact. So maybe my dervish will survive. Anyway, I don't want to deal with a settler, so let's go ahead. Settler is up. Assign a hero. Hero is assigned. This hero is fairly good in his alright. I might actually maybe start to equip him with something. How about this bow? I do have the glass steel for it. I'd much rather sell this glass steel to be honest with you, and especially since I'll sell this hero at some point anyway. So I might instead equip him with a bow just so that he deals a bit more damage. That's cost 7 dust, it's acceptable, and he does deal a bit more damage with that. So I'll apply the changes for 7 dust, it's fine. And then I'll just have no other choice but to attack. Now keep in mind, I do have my city next to me, so I do gain reinforcements. I cannot make my seller not fight, but I will have reinforcements of additional hero and 2 extra militia. So this guy is toast. There's no way he can even stand his ground. I just have to make sure that my seller is alive and well after this battle. This is why I actually engage in a manual battle instead of just going ahead and fighting him head on. Because what I noticed in the past is that AI is very mean with your sellers, and if you auto-battle a fight when you have sellers engaged, no matter how big your advantage is, no matter how puny and pathetic the enemy army is, you will always lose the seller. Always! I have not ever seen an exception to that. So just please, for the sake of yourself, don't do this to yourself. Do not have your seller deployed, and if you have to have your seller deployed, then make sure that you are in a manual battle rather than in an auto battle, because otherwise you will lose the seller. I can guarantee this. Alright, so my heroes are going to deal some enormous damage to this Harmonite from range and kill him within a single turn, I believe, which means that it was an entirely pointless waste of time. Oh wait, he survived. Well, I guess it is a Harmonite, so he will deal a bit of damage to my main hero, which I call main hero for no reason because he's pathetic. But either way, obviously the Harmonite is going to go down now, because I can fire again, and actually I did not even fire, I just had my rhino thingy, just punch the guy in the face and then scratch his head, being like, ah, whatever, that was nothing. Doesn't really matter, the enemy is dead and now I can safely expand. Where to, you may ask? Well, I actually completely forgot to have a quick look off camera and compare those two regions, but it might be smarter to actually do it on camera. So think about this again. As Roving Clans, we want food, we want science, and selling on a tower with a lot of food is good because it will give us a lot of early boost to population, and at the same time, once we are done with it, we can move to a town that gives us better yield of anything else. So, with that in mind, we also have to keep in mind, wow, that's a lot of minds in one sentence, that the enemy is also going to want to expand. The other voters, they have not expanded yet anywhere, which is a very slow rate of expansion for an AI. Usually they like expanding a bit faster. So let's have a quick think about this. This area, well, it has a decent amount of science with the mountain forests, a bit of production, more than I would like, but it's okay. There is a river here, it's a bit hard to get, however. There's another river right here, which actually does a nice circular, snaky-like a shape, which is good because it means that quite simply we can gain a lot of bonuses from it, especially once we get the fish farms going and the dust dredgers. Nice source of food and dust, but not too much science. Obviously the life tree is amazing, especially when you want to grow your cities. There's another river right here. It's actually a different river, wow, a lot of rivers in this region. So if I were to settle, I'd probably settle like here-ish, because I'll immediately gain access to under anomaly. I'll gain a bit of science, actually a decent amount now that I look at this because of the wrecked rock. Food would not be that great, it would be fairly scarce. Dust there would be practically none of, so it's not a very good area. I would gain a lot of industry, but again, industry is not something I really care about too much. Which is not optimal, is it? I do want to be able to grow my city really fast, so let's have a quick at something that has a lot more food, and that is this region. Everything in here has pretty much at least 2 food, and with the river nearby I can quickly make it grow to a much bigger extent. There are the hidden springs right here. There are some anomalies here and there, but they're not too useful. So if I were to settle on this town, I would gain a very nice income on food, and as you can see, all the towns give me a nice amount of food production. And if I continue expanding my districts along the river, I'll gain more food as we go along. Not a single bit of science, however, aside from this one. Not a lot of industry as well. However, what I want to do is settle here, just create a bit more, make sure that I have a bit more population in my city, and then move back here and settle there, which is exactly what I'll do. So let's go ahead and start moving my population like so. Did they lose how did they lose their population already? Oh, is it because of a hero? Oh yeah, I think it's because I assigned a hero that I already moved, isn't it? That's a bummer. That's a bummer. I should have... I mean, it's obvious that this should happen. Heroes are now independent units, but it's still a bit... Nah. Whatever, I'll deal with that. 110 at the public library. I might as well start working on the high towers since I'll need them anyway. Don't want to rush them. That's not a very big return of investment right there. So instead, I'd much rather have my population be working on food. That's the best rate of return I can get. And then the last bit I will put into dust, I guess, just so I can gain a bit more of it, I guess. Yeah, or maybe science. I'm kind of tempted to actually ignore science for the time being, however. Especially since I don't have the public library, so it's not going to be too useful science, that is. So let's make it like so. I'm lucky. And now for the trick. If you have played Endless Legend, you know that right now what happens is that the dervish dies. However, I discovered a trick that works beautifully against human players, and I'm not sure if it's going to work against AI as well, but it might. So when you click N10, what you need to know is that the new 10 actually starts much faster than you would otherwise expect. Because as soon as it starts saying, I'll tell you in a second. Right now I cannot move, and now I can move. Did you see that? Yeah. I moved before the 10 technically speaking ended. Oh no, move, stay away. So as you can see, the 10 actually, and this is actually very interesting, starts before it says that the new 10 has started, before you get any notifications, before those battles stop being grayed out. Before this happens, a new 10 already starts. Which means that if you just spam clicking as the 10 is ending, right after you have in actuality clicked the end 10 button, then you can start spamming the right mouse button and your units will move before anybody else's, including, as you have seen, AI. Because AI is not that fast, it will not click faster than you do. Which is actually really cool. It allows you to clear the enemy just so easily. And it's a trick that I reluctantly teach you because now more people will use it in multiplayer. But up until now, everybody was like, how do you move so fast? And obviously, everybody thought that it was lag, right? Or just somebody being the host and whatnot. But nope, I was just abusing this trick. Very nice. Obviously, it could have been lag as well. Alright. Defeat the Avenging Army in return again Titan Balls. Titan Balls are amazing, but I will not be able to defeat the Avenging Army because those are 2 centaurs. Yeah, not a single chance I'll be able to fight it. I dealt some damage, which is nice, but that's about it. Now, unfortunately, the enemy Broccolords here will be able to kill this army, but maybe this quest will be given to me anyway, which is it's not necessarily going to happen, but it might, knowing the quest, how quests work in Endless Legend. Alright, anything else I need to do here? Yes, queue up public libraries and make sure I get them as soon as possible. Can I possibly get public libraries in a single 10? No, I cannot, which is a bummer if I may say so myself. So let's make sure that the other population is continuously working on dust, so I can maybe buy out some things or maybe buy something in the marketplace. As you can see, I keep checking it regularly. Let's have a quick look at the heroes, in fact, as well. Empty Belly is here. Nah, he's an army leader, nothing else. I'm looking for the governor of the Necrophagers because their governors are actually really nice, but I cannot see any of those right now. Longfang, still here. Still here. What is he doing? Oh yeah, I got him earlier because I bought out a hero. That's fine. I do have a bit of a water hero who is a decent one, but not that amazing. Technolover? That's a strange name. I've never seen it there. Yeah, if I were to go for a lot of science, I could hire him, but I'm not a big fan of water heroes. This girl is a much better governor, but she is still not that amazing in all actuality. I think I'll wait. I'll keep waiting until I gain a better governor. I might buy out Ipsa Watcher or... +2 bonus industry per population. Yeah, you know what? I might buy Ipsa Watcher once she becomes a little bit cheaper. She might be bought out by the AI, but it's a risk I'm willing to take. What is this? Oh, I lost battle. And, of course, the Empire Plan. I do have 62 influence. As such, I will actually go ahead and go and get some kind of Empire Plan. However, normally I shouldn't have this much influence. If you remember, I got it from a quest. if you didn't, it sometimes might be a good idea to just abandon Empire Plan on 1020. Because you will possibly need it to go for quite a bit of diplomatic options later on, auto-assimilate some factions and whatnot, and in all honesty, at 1020, nothing here is too beneficial for you. Unit reduction cost, you're not gonna be making units, buddy. Building buyout reduction cost, yeah, it's okay, but you need this dust to buy out things in the marketplace, so not that great. Plus 20% science, unless you're really lucky with spawn, plus 20% science will not be a lot. Plus 3 dust per population on city, okay, that's nice, but not if you don't have a lot of population, and right now, you will not have a lot of population. That said, I do have a lot of influence, so just go ahead and get the extra science. I could get the extra dust per population as well, it's only 15 influence, and because I gained this 30 influence, I basically treat this as a freebie, so I'll go for it, because keep in mind, I gained this 30 science for nothing. However, usually I'll disencourage you going for both. One is already pushing and two is probably not worth it at all, but since I have the science to give away, I might as well do it. Alrighty then, so there's this done. Now, can I deploy this city faster than the enemy can move? It's a bit of a gamble. I clicked too late. I clicked way too late, but that's fine. I'll just go into manual mode and see if I gain any reinforcements for a city. I did not. I have seen it before. I don't know why I waited so long to actually admit that I will not gain any reinforcements. Doesn't matter. You move over there, and I will certainly make sure that this guy is in hold position, because I don't want my sellers to just be stupid and charge the enemy. So the seller please hold position and move backwards a little bit. Now the cool thing about sellers for Roving Clans, aside from the bugs on their back, is the fact that they actually have free population, which is, as you may recall, much better than what other factions have. So you can actually kite the enemy armies with your sellers, whereas with other factions you may not necessarily be able to do this. Which is very important, because this might mean that you'll save your seller whereas usually you would not be able to do so. And I forgot to realize that this guy will actually be able to make it to my hero anyway, and now I let go of my high ground advantage. That's okay though, I'll still be able to kill this Rambler in the next turn, I believe. Yes. No, he barely survived, which is really annoying, which is that we'll have to go through yet another battle phase, but I guess it's okay. Let's just launch the battle, kill the enemy really quickly, and then we can settle our new city. Now, after we are done with this, we'll have to think if we want to create a third seller and settle in this in a different region, or if we want to not create a seller and just keep this region just so that I can move my new city over there. And the answer usually is no, because the voters can settle here. So what I thought is a better idea is abusing your move city mechanic to the maximum. So let's say that I have two cities, one over here, which I just created, and one in this region. This city will grow much faster than this city, it's a guarantee, right? So after several turns, let's say I have like 4, 5, or maybe even more population in this city, and only a pathetic puny 2 or 3 population in this city. What do I want to do possibly then? Unroot this city, move it over here. Once it's in this region, unroot the city that was in this region, plant this city over here, move this city over here, and bam, I switch the locations of my cities, like so. Very nice trick. It does, however, mean that your cities will not be doing anything for a few turns even. So I would not necessarily recommend doing this until you have some really nice speed technologies, like extra movement on your units, or maybe roads or something, you know, because otherwise it just takes too much time and is not entirely worth it. However, in the situation where you have a lot of excess movement, you can actually go ahead and try and do this. Alright, so what do I want to do over here? I want to assign my hero. I have to wait, because by assigning him I'll give him extra... Well, in all actuality, I don't really care about giving him extra experience, but I do care because he could... Does he give me any bonus? I already forgot. Let's have a quick check. Yeah, extra science for population, not too useful. Alright, I might just sell him out right now. I'll think about it. Alright, so first things first, this population is certainly not going to work on dust, it's going to work on production. And I'll get all those structures. I didn't actually have the dust to buy them out. So, it's time for the MOG Pro plays. Do you see my hero right there? Oh yeah, he is very nice, isn't he? Yeah, it would be a shame if something were to happen to him. As it stands, something is going to happen to him. I will sell him off. I cannot do that right now, unfortunately. Because... Huh. Oh yeah, right, I have to wait 3 more turns. Okay, so he's locked right now. But as soon as he's no longer locked, I'll just sell him off to the marketplace. Now the price is surprisingly low for the time being, which makes me believe that the price increases as the experience increases. That's right, it's indeed the case, as you can see between the two heroes. So I might want to level this hero anyway, but I just want to sell him so I can spam those buildings a bit faster. Doesn't matter how I'm working this. Oh yeah, it does, it certainly does. Alright, is there anything else I need to do? Not right now, I don't think so. I'll just go ahead and finish this turn. And as soon as I sell this here, I'll see. If I can, I'll buy another Wild Walker's hero, just so I can operate the city a bit better. If I cannot do that, I'll possibly just... Oh, for crying out loud, what is this? Oh, it's them attacking my hero with their hero? Oh, Volters, you're feisty. Now, we are in Cold War, and this is a neutral region, so this could have happened, and it did happen. And I'm going to lose this fight because the enemy hero is probably better. Let's have a quick look. 49 health, 23 attack. Yeah, she has more health, slightly less attack, but not by much. Who's got more defense? I do. I have more critical, so my stats are better in all actuality. But she's got a marine, I have a militia. I'll probably lose this. I'll leave on aggressive stance, my units on aggressive stance, because this way my militia will attack as soon as possible. However, my hero will obviously hold his ground, because otherwise he is going to die, as simple as that. Alright, let's think about this. It's a battle of the ranged units, so I want to have not only the higher ground, but also to be able to move forward and attack the enemy while the enemy cannot attack me. I have free movement, so Is this a cliff over here? It is. If possible, I want to be able to get to this area and attack the enemy from above. But I'm afraid I will not be able to do this. I don't have enough movement because there's a cliff here and there are forests around. Thankfully, the enemy should also not be able to get here just yet because, again, of the forests, and they have even less movement than I do. So I'll just stay ready to that. You hold your ground, but move to this tile. Yeah. And now I'm praying that he's going to move here for this turn and not here because this would be awful. And you, in the meantime, attack the Marines, because Marines, will, after killed, they'll stay dead, whereas the hero will stay alive, which is a bit of a problem. So, yeah, my hero moved to the correct tile, and is now going to attack the enemy, because I moved in range. Apparently I was not in range, but the enemy was. How was the other possibility? I'm not entirely fully aware. I guess I used all of my movement points and whatnot, but it still feels a bit cheaty, doesn't it? Oh, whatever, the enemy does have a block. They have last stand and precision, which actually doesn't matter right now, but block does matter, so they were able to take reduced damage from my attacks, and I think I will lose my hero and gain nothing for it as well, which is a bit of a bummer. Yeah, my hero has just died, and now it's just a slaughter fest. Well, this is annoying, because now I cannot sell my hero for exactly 20 tens, which is a rather big bummer. So what I will do now is, because my main city... I'll let this battle go through, we don't care about it. My main city is now done with its structures. I mean, soon it will create the high towers, and after that is done, it will have nothing else to do, right? So what I will do is create an army right there. And the army can be used for two things. One, defend if necessary, which probably will not be a necessity, but might be. B, most likely, I'll just sell it. Because it's a really nice way of turning your industry into gold. You just create an army and then sell it. Alright, this guy is now absolutely worthless. For 20 tens, he gives me nothing, and I cannot even sell him for this time. So I just want to kill him. If I could, I would love to just finish him off just out of spite, because he's so useless. Can I do that? Can I kill him? I can't. I want to murder him in his sleep. I don't even care if I gain any dust from it. I just want revenge. Or whatever. Alrighty then, so those guys are just happily working together. I can't hurry up this production. I don't know it. Oh, for crying out, no! I forgot about spices! No! No, 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 no! You were supposed to use spices right before selling a new city. Hold on. Hold on, I want to test something. I want to test something really badly. Alright, let's go for Haile Kahoy, right? Which is going to unroot our city, which, by the way, will let you see how this looks. This city, work on the production. Yeah, like so, this will give us a bit more time. I don't like this improvement. It's a bit more time for not a lot of gain. That's better. I would at least get some extra dust. Alright, so let's do it like so. Hide the Kahoy, use the spices booster, and then immediately settle down. Will it decrease the cost of spices? I don't know, but it's worth to check. At the very least. So let's go ahead and have a quick... Oh, it's winter. Beautiful. So, yeah, go away. I don't have a lot of time. How much is spices to activate? It is 10 booster cost. Yes, activate. Yep. Thank you, spices. And now, let's settle down. By the way, this is how this guy looks. when he's approved it. Cute, isn't he? Alright, let's replan the game. Sorry guys, it was just a mild inconvenience. It is actually fairly annoying because it means that I did not use this city for 110 because I did waste its production, but it already gained extra population before I approved it, which is actually fairly nice. So now I can work on the siege start faster, which actually I shouldn't do. I should work on mill foundry instead. And as you can see, in fact, all the progress I made on the siege start has been reset as a result of me uploading the city, which is fine. It's fine. I don't really care about siege start too much right now. I should really focus on mill foundry instead. All right. So my spices are activated, which means that my population in all my cities will grow much faster right now, which is important, especially since the winter is now finally here. And in fact, I guess I'll focus on hunters because I do want to finish my faction quest as soon as possible. And it is a bit of exercise as well, so might as well. I do want to have the language square. I do need to start getting those quests from minor factions. Alright, so how things are going right now? I have no army whatsoever. I don't have a lot of dust, I don't have anything, so things went fairly poorly. However, to my defense and to, yeah, just my defense, I can say that all the quests we have gained thus far were absolutely pathetic. It's all just weapon, 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 weapon. The amount of weapons I have to equip for my heroes is now ludicrous. Usually by this point I would get so many luxuries and so many strategic resources, it would be ungodly. However, luck obviously knew that I'm recording and wanted to smack me in the face on camera. Which is fine. It is actually absolutely fine, because the more challenge we have in video, the better you will be prepared for when hard times come, when you are trying out my strategies in a real play. Either way, this videocast has been long enough, and quite frankly, I feel like my computer might explode any second now because it's so hot. So, thank you very much for watching. It was PANCZASU, also known as the Mighty Mix Power. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you online.